Neelofar Masood, I'm not quite understanding what is the criticism that the Jammu and Kashmir parties are mounting. It has always been stated by the government that statehood will return, that process will take time. Today, the government has once again reiterated and possibly given you a slight timeline. Are you happy with that reassurance, or are you not feeling assured?
Shivani, actually, what is sub judice before the Honorable Supreme Court is basically the writ petition which is against the abrogation of the Article 370.
Yes.
We have not knocked the doors of the justice for the elections. It's true that we want that there should be restoration of the democracy, but let me be very clear that what is the writ petition before the Supreme Court is basically the illegalities. Again, is the illegalities.
Of the manner in which the Article 370 was abrogated. I get that.
See, yes, that is the actual fact which is before the Honorable Supreme Court, which should be decided. And what the SG is doing, in fact, he intends to give the diversion to that petition in order to just end it up with the elections.
In this case,
we want elections.
No, but ma'am, in this case, let's be fair.
Because they don't have any legal arguments.
No, they've made legal arguments.
Any legal arguments.
One second, ma'am, one second, for the benefit of our viewers. Of course, the argument on whether the Article 370 was abrogated legally or not, those arguments are ongoing. The government has also presented its case on why it took that decision. That's a separate matter. But as far as statehood for Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, that question came from the bench. The SG Tushar Mehta has only responded to the question and the query that the bench asked him to.
Just give me 20 seconds.
Yes.
Just give me 20 seconds.
Yes,
From
go
last
ahead.
5 years, we are having the governor's role. And we have been hearing after each fortnight that yes, elections will be held. We do want that there should be the restoration of the democracy. But from last 5 years, we have been hearing it off and on. And what today is being done in the Jammu and Kashmir, it is the election rolls are being updated. There is no doubt about it. But for the ULB elections, which are going to be held, not for the assembly elections. And for that too, they are not clear about the time frame when actually these are going to be held.
So according to you, okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Again, I see a contradiction here. According to you, elections should be held today. But also according to you and your parties, the atmosphere on the ground is too bad. So are you saying that elections should have, even though the atmosphere on ground is not conducive, or are you accepting that normalcy has returned to Jammu and Kashmir?
Clear. See, there are two contradictory things which the government is taking. On one side, they are filing the supplementary affidavit before the Honorable Supreme Court that everything is fine here, normalcy is there, we don't have stone pelting, everything, graph is going on very good, economy is very good, but everything is good. Why the democracy is not being restored?
Okay, fair enough.
This is a big question mark and they are working also.
No, but do you accept,
claim.
Neelofar ji, I'll take that question to Shazia, but do you accept that yes, normalcy has returned to Jammu and Kashmir? If you are asking for elections today, then you must accept that yes, the atmosphere is conducive for elections. Yes, Neelofar ji?
You're asking me?
Yes, has normalcy returned to Jammu and Kashmir according to you or not?
See, I am saying these two contradictory these views have been taken by the government of India. On one way, they are saying that there is normalcy. If there is normalcy, then why the democracy is not being restored?
Because they're doing delimitation and they're sorting out the voter list. In any case, you didn't answer my question. If you want polls today, then you must also accept that there is normalcy on ground. Let Shazia come in. Shazia Ilmi, there is no definitive timeline, only assurances that come in from the BJP or the government from time to time.
So I heard Neelofar ji very patiently, and she failed to convince either me, you, or the viewers.
I don't have to convince you, Shazia Almi. I don't need to convince you.
That's because there is so much contradiction in what she's saying.
And
I tell you why.
No,
you have to be quiet to listen. I want to.
I don't need to convince you. Why should I convince you? You need to convince the Honorable Supreme Court on the legalities.
Neelofar ji, you had your turn. Let us speak, and then you can speak again.
Again, you confused. Again, you confused. Again, you confused.
No, I'm not. I'm not here
the
to
problem
convince
with you is that you're very confused and you're trying to cover up that confusion
No,
by trying
there is
to
problem with
confuse
you people
others.
that you
Now,
are
I'll tell you
confused.
why.
You are not
You're
able to
conflating
give
the
the
two
time
issues.
frame, actual
One is the
time
issue
frame.
of abrogation of
On
Article
one side, you are
370
saying
and the
that we are
process
with the
whereby
democracy, and
it
on
was
the other side,
abrogated.
you are saying that
Let me finish. No, can I request Shivani to allow me to speak?
Can I, Neelofarji, I will appreciate you got your turn.
Shivani,
Now
can
please
I
allow
just
our
have
other
10
panelists to
seconds of-
speak as well. Yes, Shazia, go ahead.
You know, because I just heard Neelofar Appa very seriously talk about and tie herself in knots, and many of them, as she talked about this issue. She conflates the two issues. The issue of abrogation of 370 and the process whereby it happened, that's one. And that is exactly where the submissions have been, and you know, lawyers on both sides are giving their reasons and reasoning and arguments for the same. And also a separate issue on the elections. Now it is her party and all other parties which have been asking for elections, and have been saying until this announcement came that Jammu and Kashmir is ready for elections. Now the biggest grouse was how long will the state of India or the union govern them through the lieutenant governor and not have fair and free elections. Now finally that is being announced, and now it's difficult for them to accept that exactly what they asked for is what they're getting. So they're trying, there is no answer really. So
But
the
Shazia, can I come
contradiction that
in?
she talks about is exactly representative of how she feels.
But
No, I
Shazia,
want to
they're
say two
saying
things.
that there is no
If the- if
definitive
this-
timeline still. There is no time, there is no date still.
Exactly. There is no definitive timeline about the restoration of the statehood. And this is exactly what has been argued in the court. What has been argued in the court is that there could be elections, and there will be, where it comes to panchayat, municipal and assembly levels, and there should be. But when this question specifically was asked as to when the statehood would be restored, to which there was a very honest answer that there is no definitive answer that can be given to that. So that's it. But the question on elections has been answered. And the fact and this complete rabble rousing that went on, that the union is interfering with the rights and the freedom of Kashmiri people by not having elections, by perpetuating the governor's or lieutenant governor's rule, and therefore imposing itself on the federal rights of the people of Kashmir, has now been undone.
Okay,
So
can I bring in Neelofar again?
Argument here.
Neelofar
There is no
ji, I
legit
want to-
argument that you can make.
Neelofarji, I want to give you another minute. I want to understand from you. You know,
Let
all of
me
these
submit to the
parties.
Shazia
One
Appa
second, one
also.
second.
Let me submit to the
Neelofarji,
Shazia
please
Appa.
listen
Just
to
give
my
me 20
question also.
seconds.
Neelofarji, please listen to my question
Yes,
also.
yes.
The point also is that the democracy that you talk about in Jammu and Kashmir was one limited in the hands of a few chosen few. That was not true democracy either. I was speaking to Kavinder Gupta earlier, but these are statistics that are available to everyone, that local elections were not held for many years, at some times for decades in Jammu and Kashmir. So how can Jammu and Kashmir parties claim that they are the true representatives of democracy in the valley? Is also a large question.
See, Shivani, you must be knowing that what were the situations right from 1989 till
So you accept the situation was bad under you.
See.
So you accept that till JKNC and till PDP were ruling, the situation was bad.
Let me complete. If you are going to answer on my behalf, then it will be useless.
No, please make admissions.
Allow me to speak.
Go ahead.
Allow me to speak. You know what was the situation in the Jammu and Kashmir. Even then, National Conference is the party which held the local body elections. Even in 2002, the elections were held. And after that, you should admit this thing. Whenever the local body elections were held in the Jammu and Kashmir, it was only the JKNC, not any other party. And about the assembly elections, I have been saying that center has been ruling right from 2014 till date. What actually has happened in the Jammu and Kashmir? They are talking about the peace, prosperity, and everything. Neither democracy is here, neither development is there, neither prosperity is there.
Is peace there?
You kindly see. You kindly see the rate of the unemployment youths. You kindly see that.
Ma'am, all of those fruits of development will come to Jammu and
30.
Kashmir, and they have started to come to Jammu and Kashmir after abrogation of Article 370. You cannot expect everything overnight.
See,